This is a great year at the movies. If anything else is an indicator that we're having a good year, it's the fact that we had a Tom Cruise movie, now we have a Brad Pitt movie. And look, is it the year of perfect cinema, perfect film? So far, no. And this is definitely one of those not so perfect films. But is it a lot of fun? Absolutely. And if you're going to the movies and you want to sit in an IMAX cinema, this is the movie to do it. This is the movie to see on the big screen, the biggest screen possible. It is so much fun, and it still gets a lot of the drama right. It's still a little bit funny, and the cinematography is astonishing, and that's where everything starts. This is a big visual eye candy film, and you know, it does so much right. And the first 2/3 of the film are fantastic. I would just say there's a chunk near the end, and especially maybe the very end, that I wish were better. But I did still really enjoy this film. Brad Pitt is an aging driver who decides that he's gonna take on F1 again. And that's because Javier Bardem has come to him and asked him to step back into F1 even after he had what we can tell from the beginning is an obviously terrible accident many years ago. And so this is Brad Pitt coming in as this character all cocksure and like swanning, as one of the characters says. And you know, that's what we want to see, right? Like it's this great head-to-head kind of competition between two drivers. A young driver and Brad Pitt's character facing off and trying to prove that they're the best. And of course, in the end of the day, this story is about the fact that this is an F1 team. And when you're on a team, you've got to work together. So the whole story is building to will or will they not find a way to be a good team together. And, you know, there's lots of crises along the way. Will it fall apart? Maybe, who knows? It's really well laid out. The first third of the film is all set up. The middle is kind of this ebb and flow of racing, you know, successes and failures and everything else. And then you've got the final third, which is the payoff. And I really enjoyed the first 2/3. It sets everything up perfectly. The racing sequences, Joseph Kosinski, who is the director, who did a couple of other things that I adore, he does a really great job here in building the action, building these sequences, making everything pop on screen. The cinematography, there's one shot in the opening that I don't even know how they pulled it off, really. This zooming shot that must be a drone coming into a car, and I don't know how they do it, but it's spectacular. And there's a few moments like that the cinematography tells a completely other story that adds to the drama and everything else. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's not really a spoiler, I wouldn't say, but it is this thing that nowhere in the film for the first 2/3 do you see this one type of shot. But there is, in the final race that we see, there is this one shot, and it pays off something that is one of the greatest moments in the film. And for every other little issue I had in that third part of the film, that scene, that shot, it's the big payoff, and it transports you, the viewer, right into that seat as if you're one of the racers, and it's very cool to see. I would give anything for more films to have those moments of transporting you somewhere, because it's hard to pull off. It doesn't always work, and not always can you use the camera as a way to visually put someone in that spot. But it works so well here. And, you know, Brad Pitt alongside all these shots, you know, I can't tell, of course, filming wise, which ones he was part of, but you feel like you're right there with his character. And that's a very cool feeling for a movie, because you're firmly put in his seat. Now look, the downside of all this is that the script could have been a lot better. I think the third bit of the film where, you know, there's a lot of key things getting wrapped up, there's some messy stuff there. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's probably also a couple of the things, I don't know a lot about F1, but I know enough and they explain enough in the film that I feel like there's some real liberties here that, yes, it could happen, but it feels like a real, like, really? So, you've got to suspend that disbelief for a little bit and just enjoy the ride. And the emotional payoff, I will say, the final 5 minutes of the film, it's not the best. It's not my favorite. It feels a little cheesy even. There's a little bit of cheese there. And did I want a storybook ending? Not necessarily. But I do wish that it had found a different ending, perhaps. But all that is forgiven in the sense of a great, big screen movie. And on IMAX, everything looks so good. It's really a spectacular film. We've had a great year for IMAX. It's, a lot of years you hit and miss, but the made for IMAX stuff this year has been spectacular. And this is definitely right up there. Is it as good as Sinners in terms of visual appeal? Maybe not. No. It might not even be as good as what we got with Mission Impossible, which was also, The Final Reckoning had some spectacular IMAX scenes, but as something we don't see on the screen a lot, which is racing, they really captured the sport and they really brought it to life in a way that speaks well on the IMAX screen. And racing fans are definitely going to get out and see it for that reason. Anyone who just wants to see a different kind of popcorn drama, this is it. Go see it, because otherwise everything else is shoot 'em ups and, there's the occasional kid movie. There's not enough of those either, but at least this is something different. And, for what it is, I really enjoyed it. If I had to give it a rating out of 10, I'd go 7.5. I don't think it's an 8. Those story issues kind of bog it down. But is it a must-see summer blockbuster? Yeah, I mean, that's a yes or no question. It's not about a rating. And yeah, it's a big screen movie. I think if you like big action movies, this is it, and it's cool, and it's completely different. No one, as I recall, no one shoots anyone in this film. There might be a couple punches thrown, not many, but so it's very different from everything else out there this summer, and that's really cool. Let me know once you've seen the film what you thought of it. I'd love to hear your response, especially F1 fans maybe, because I'm not going to know some of the things that are in here that I know there's a lot of cameos, so that's something a lot of fans are going to love. Didn't work with me since I'm not a fan, but it was very interesting. But yeah, let me know what you thought. Love to hear your comments. Thank you very much for watching, and enjoy the cinema.